Dear students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss few programs by using logical group of instructions. So first we will see the ANDing operation, that is ANDing of two 8-bit numbers by using logical AND instruction. So first program, ANDing of two 8-bit numbers using, so here we are going to write the program by using immediate addressing mode. So ANDing of two 8-bit numbers by using immediate addressing mode. So suppose the two numbers are given to you. Number 1, suppose 33 hex, and number 2, suppose 55 hex. Okay, so suppose these two numbers, hex numbers, are given to you for ANDing operation. Okay, so by using immediate addressing mode you have to write the program for the ANDing operation. Okay, so to AND the two numbers by using immediate addressing mode, we are having the instruction ANI 8-bit number. So we will use that particular ANI instruction. Okay, so ANI means accumulator content get ANDed immediately with the specified 8-bit immediate data. So one of the number you have to take in accumulator, either this 33 or this 55. So we will take this 33 hex in accumulator and then we will use ANI instruction. So the first instruction is to take this 33 hex in accumulator by using immediate addressing mode. So first instruction is MEI A, 33 hex. So after the execution I will write here the comment, in accumulator you will get 33 hex. Okay. The next instruction is ANI and immediate with the accumulator content. So ANDing of what? ANDing of immediate data. So add immediately 55 hex with accumulator content. So ANI 55 hex. So its operation is accumulator content ANDed with 55 hex, that is 33 hex logical ANDing operation with 55 hex. Just a minute. Okay, so in this way 33 hex get ANDed with 55 hex and result you will get in accumulator. So 33 hex ANDed with 55 means in accumulator you will get 11 hex. Okay, next instruction is to copy the result 11x in B register. So move B comma A. Okay, so accumulator content get copied in B register. So here in accumulator and in B you will get 11x, and last instruction is halt instruction. So we will cross check this result. Okay, (33x) I will write in binary 0011 means 3, 0011 again 3, that is 33. In the same way 55x I will write in binary 0101 again 0101 and bitwise ANDing operation. Okay, so 1 ANDed with 1 you will get 1, 1 ANDed with 0 you will get 0, 0 ANDed with 1, 0, here 0. So at lower nibble you will get 1. In the same way in case of upper nibble, so 1 ANDed with 1 you will get 1, and everywhere you will get 0. So in this way you will get answer 1 and 1, that is 11 hex. Okay, so this is the program for the ANDing operation by using immediate addressing mode. Second program, ORing of two 8-bit numbers by using register addressing mode. By using register addressing mode. Okay, so to perform logical ORing operation under this register addressing mode, we are having the instruction ORA R instruction. Okay, so we will use ORA B instruction, and its operation is A OR with B register and result in accumulator. So as we have decided to use ORA B instruction, the two numbers you have to take in accumulator and B register. Okay, suppose the two numbers are given. Number 1, suppose AA hex, and number 2, suppose 55 hex. Okay, and suppose you want to perform logical ORing operation in between these two numbers. Okay, so at that time this AA hex and 55 hex you have to take in accumulator and in B register. Okay, so the first instruction is to take this AA hex in accumulator. So MVI A, move immediate AA hex in accumulator. So after the execution of this instruction in accumulator you will get AA hex. Next instruction, move B comma A, copy this AA hex in B register, means we are taking this number 1 in B register. So here in A register and in B register you will get AA hex. Okay, now this AA hex is available in B register. Okay, now you have to take this 55 hex in accumulator, and then we will use ORA instruction. So next instruction will be MVI A comma 55x. So after execution in accumulator you will get 55x. Okay, now this 55x is available in accumulator and in B register with AA hex. So after the execution of this MVI A 55x, the AA hex which is available in the previous instruction, okay, so accumulator content get overwritten with the new data, that is 55x. AA hex get overwritten with the 55x. Okay, so next instruction is ORA B. Its operation is accumulator content get odd with B register, result in accumulator. So in accumulator we are having 55x odd with B register content, that is AA hex, and the result you will get FFX. Okay, now suppose if you want to copy this ORing result in another register, so you can use the move instruction. So suppose move C comma A. Move C comma A means copy accumulator content in C register. So in this way, after the execution of this move C comma A in accumulator and in C register, you will get FFX result. And last instruction is halt instruction. Okay, so we will cross check this result FFX. AA hex we will write in binary. 1010 means A, 1010 and 1010 means AA, and 55x, that is 01 01 01 and 01. Okay, then ORing operation. So in case of OR operation, you know very well, if any one bit is 1, output you will get 1. Also in case of 1 1, also you will get output logic 1. So 0 odd with 1, you will get 1. 1 odd with 0, you will get 1. 0 odd with 1, you will get 1. So in this way, everywhere you will get 1 1 1 1, means F and F. This is your final result you are getting in accumulator. Now we will see the program for XORing operation by using indirect addressing mode. So the third program, XORing of two 8-bit numbers by using indirect addressing mode. Okay, so as we are going to use in that addressing mode. That means the two numbers must be available in memory. Okay, so suppose in the memory at location D200 and D201, two numbers are there. Suppose at location D200 77x and at next location D201 second number 66x is available. Okay, so we are going to write a program to perform XORing operation between these two numbers. Okay, so as I said, in that addressing mode and the two numbers are available in the memory, it is required to create one memory pointer to fetch or to read the data which is available in the memory. Okay, so our first task is to create the memory pointer by using HL register pair. So the first instruction is LXI H comma D200. So after the execution, in H you will get D2 and L you will get 00. Next instruction is move A comma M. Okay, so what is move A comma M? Copy the memory content pointed by HL in accumulator. Okay, so HL is pointing where? Here. Already we have created one memory pointer by using HL. So at this location D200 77x is available. So after the execution of this move A comma M in accumulator, you will get 77x. Okay, now next number is available, 66 is available at next memory location. Okay, so it is required to increment the memory pointer by 1 to fetch or to read the data 66x from the next memory location. So next instruction is INX H, increment the HL pair by 1. So here X indicates HL pair. So after the execution of this INX H, in H you will get D2 and L, after incrementation you will get 01. Okay, so D201. So at location D201 66 we have stored, or during the execution of the program you have to store these two numbers at location D200 and D201. Okay, so suppose 66 is available at next location. Now the memory pointer is locating where? At location D201. So next instruction is for XORing operation. XRA M. Okay, its operation is accumulator content XORed with memory pointed content and result in accumulator. Okay, so right now in accumulator we are having 77x XORed with memory pointed content, that is 66x. M means HL pointed content. So 77x XORed with 66x and result you will get in accumulator. So in accumulator you will get 11x. And suppose you want to copy this result in C register, you can use the move C comma A instruction. So after the execution of this move C comma A, in C register also you will get this final result. Last instruction is halt instruction. We will cross check this result 11x 77x 77 in hexadecimal. We will write in binary 0111. 0111 means 77 66x. Okay, so 6 in binary 0110 and 6 again 0110 means 6. Okay, and XORing operation. So in case of XORing, if any bit is 1, you will get output logic 1, and in case of 1 1 and 0 0 condition, you will get output 0. So here 1 1 you will get 0, 1 1 you will get 0, 0 0 0. Okay, 1 XOR with 0 you will get 1, 1 1 0, 1 1 0, 0 0 0. So in this way you will get final answer 11x in accumulator. Okay, so XORing of 2 8-bit numbers by using indirect addressing mode. Why indirect? Because we have used XORing instruction from indirect addressing mode, that's why. Next simple program we will see from implicit addressing mode. Okay, so fourth program, to complement the accumulator content. Program to complement or not the accumulator content, or simple complementation program. So suppose the number AAX is available in the accumulator. Okay, AAX is available in accumulator. So to complement the number, that is complementation of this AA, is possible by using CMA instruction. So why we are considering here accumulator? Because to complement this number you have to take this number in accumulator, because the instruction CMA assumes data from accumulator only. Okay, so our first task is to take this AA hex in accumulator, and then we will use CMA instruction. So first instruction is move instruction, MVI A comma AA hex. Okay, so after the execution of this MVI A in accumulator, you will get AA hex. Also I will write in binary 1010 means A, again 1010 in binary. So this is nothing but AA. Then I will use CMA instruction. CMA, complement accumulator content. So after the execution of this CMA instruction in accumulator, you will get 0101 and 0101. So complementation of this 0, you will get 1, complementation of this 1, you will get 0, complementation of this 0, you will get 1, complementation of 1, you will get 0. So in this way you will get 55x in accumulator. And suppose if you want to copy this result in another register, you can use move b comma a. So after the execution of this move b comma a in accumulator and in B register, you will get 55x. Last instruction is halt instruction to stop the execution. So next program is for comparison operation. So to perform the comparison between the two numbers, we are having the compare instructions from different addressing modes. Okay, so we are going to use the comparison instruction from register addressing mode. Okay, so comparison instruction is available with immediate, with register and with indirect addressing mode. Okay, so we will use comparison instruction from register addressing mode. So next program to compare the two 8-bit numbers using comparison instruction. Okay, so we are going to use the comparison instruction from register addressing mode. So in with register addressing mode, we are having the instruction CMP R instruction. Okay, so we will use CMP B instruction, that is accumulator content compared with B register content, and result you will get through flag register. Okay, to reflect the comparison result, flag registers are used. That is, either the accumulator contents are bigger than the B register, or accumulator contents are smaller than B register, or accumulator contents are equal to the B register content. Okay, so the first program in this comparison, where accumulator contents are bigger than the B register content. So here suppose in accumulator we are having 20x and B register with 10x. Okay. So to perform the comparison between 20hex and 10hex, these two numbers 20 and 10 you have to take in A register and B register. So the first instruction is MVI A 20hex. So after the execution of this MVI A 20hex, in accumulator you will get 20hex. Next MVI B 10hex. So after this MVI B 10hex, in B register you will get 10hex. Okay. Now 20hex is available in A register and 10hex is available in B register. We will use compare instruction, CMP B. Its operation is A compared with B register, and result you have to check the flag registers or flag content you have to check. Okay. So after A compare B, that is 20 compared with 10, you will get carry and 0 flag 0 to indicate accumulator contents are bigger than the B register content. Internally the comparison is done by using subtraction technique, that is 20 minus 10. Okay. Second program in this comparison, if accumulator content are smaller than B register content. Okay. So suppose in accumulator 10hex is available, B register with 20hex. Okay. So the first instruction is MVI A 10hex, MVI B 20hex. Okay. So after the execution of this MVI A 10hex, in accumulator you will get 10hex, and after this MVI B instruction, in B register you will get 20hex. Once again suppose CMP B instruction get executed, that is A compare with B, result through flag bits. Okay. So 10 compared with 20hex. So here you will get carry flag equal to 1 to indicate accumulator content is smaller than B register content. Why we are getting here carry 1? Because smaller number minus bigger number, which indicates negative number. Okay. So this carry 1 means accumulator content is smaller than B register content. And last instruction is halt instruction. And third program under this comparison means accumulator and B register content are same. Suppose in accumulator 10hex and B register is with also 10hex. So the first instruction is MVI A 10hex. So after execution of this MVI A, in accumulator you will get 10hex. Next move instruction, move immediate B with 10hex. So in B register also you will get 10hex. Okay. And suppose CMP B instruction get executed, A compared with B, result in flag register. Okay, 10 compared with 10. So here you have to check specifically 0 flag bit. So here you will get 0 flag equal to 1. Why 1? As I said, the comparison operation get performed by using subtraction technique. So as here accumulator and B register contents are same, that is 10 minus 10, answer we are getting 0, and we know very well that as we are getting answer 0 means 0 flag 1. Now as far as this comparison is concerned, 0 flag 1 indicates accumulator content and B register content are same. Okay, and last instruction is halt instruction. Okay, so in this way comparison instruction, or we can use the compare instruction from different addressing modes. So we have used comparison instruction from register addressing mode. So in this way comparison from immediate, comparison from in-data addressing mode is available. Now we will see next logical operation, that is shifting operation or rotation operation. So different shifting instructions are available in the instruction set, that is shift left, shift right, with carry, through carry. Okay, so directly we will see one program to swap the nibble content. Okay, that is to exchange the contents of data, that is lower nibble you have to transfer at upper nibble, and upper nibble you have to shift to the lower nibble. Okay, the next program for the nibble swapping. Nibble swapping. So suppose one number is given to you for swapping. Suppose 85 hex one number is given to you for swapping. So after nibble swapping, the lower nibble, that is 5, should go at upper nibble, and the nibble available at upper location should go at lower location or at lower nibble. That is, after the execution, the number you should get 58 hex. 58 hex. So this 5 gets shifted to up and this 8 gets shifted to lower nibble location. Okay, so here there are two ways to write the program by using shift instruction or rotate instruction. So we are going to use the rotate instruction by using rotate instruction with carry Okay, so shift left with carry or rotate left with carry instruction, that is RLC instruction. Okay, so as we discussed, single RLC instruction will shift the bit once. For single execution, single shifting. Okay, so here to shift the lower nibble to up and upper nibble to lower location, it is required to use or to execute the rotate instruction 4 times. How 4 times? So best way I will write this 85 hex in binary format, then the picture get cleared. So 8 means 1000 means 8, and this 5 0101 means 5. Okay, so this is your lower nibble and this is your upper nibble. Okay, 8 is available at upper nibble and 5 is located at lower nibble. So what you have to do, bitwise you have to shift the lower nibble to upper nibble and upper nibble should go at lower nibble. So this lower nibble should go at location upper nibble and upper nibble should go at lower nibble location. So swapping or shifting means what? Bitwise you have to shift, that is this 1 0 1 0 you have to shift left, you have to rotate left 4 times. Why 4 times? Because to move this 5 at upper nibble we are going to use rotate instruction, or it is required to execute rotate left instruction 4 times. Why 4 times? Because it is required to shift 4 bits 1 2 3 4 4 bit. These 4 bits you have to shift to upper nibble, and the 4 bits again 4 bits 1 0 0 again 4 bits you have to shift or you have to swap or you have to transfer at lower nibble. Okay, that's why it is required to execute the rotate instruction or shift instruction 4 times, because of in single nibble 4 bits are there 1 2 3 4. Okay, and also in upper nibble 4 bits are there. That's why it is required to execute rotate left instruction 4 times to shift all these 4 bits one by one at upper location or upper nibble, and also the upper nibble bits at lower location. Okay, so as I said, there are 2 ways to write the program: by using rotate instruction 4 times and by using looping concept. Okay, so first we will see by using rotate instruction 4 times. Okay, so to perform this swapping operation, this number 85 hex, this 85 hex number must be available in accumulator. Why accumulator? Because all rotate instructions or shifting instructions assumes data from accumulator. Okay, that's why our first task is to take this 85 hex in accumulator. So I will take this 85 hex in accumulator first. MVI A 85 hex. Okay, so after the execution in accumulator you will get 85 hex. I will write in binary also 1000 means 8 and 5 means 0 1 0 1. Okay, now suppose RLC instruction get executed. First RLC instruction get executed. So after this RLC instruction, rotate left with carry in a accumulator. What you will get? This bits get shifted to left. So you will get 0 0 0 0 and 1 0 1 1. Okay, so this most significant bit goes at least significant location, and bits available in the accumulator get shifted to left. Okay, so you will get 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 1 0 1 and 1. Once again, suppose RLC. So after this RLC, execution of this instruction RLC, you will get 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, again shifted to left, 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 0. Okay, once again RLC. So after this RLC, again shifting 0 0 1 0 and 1 1 0 0. And last RLC instruction will give you 0 1 0 1 and 1 0 0 0. Okay, once again the bits get shifted to left after this RLC. So 1 0 1 0 and this 0 goes at least significant location. So you will get 1 0 0 0 means 0 1 0 1 means 5 and 1 0 0 0 means 8. So in this way, in accumulator you will get 58 hex. And if you want to copy this result in another register, you can copy move B comma A. So after the execution of this move B comma A, accumulator content get copied in B register. So in A register, B register, you will get 85x. Okay, and last instruction is hard instruction. Okay, but writing of this rotate instruction, either rotate left, right, whatever it is, rotate instruction 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 8 times is not feasible, or is not a proper way to write the program. Okay, so another way to write this nibble swapping program by using looping concept. So instead of writing this RLC instruction 4 times, if you execute this RLC instruction by using counter. Okay, so we can execute this RLC instruction 4 times by using counter, and count value you have to take 4 because we are going to execute this RLC instruction 4 times. Okay, so instead of writing this RLC instruction 4 times, we will use looping concept, or by using counter we will execute this RLC instruction 4 times. Okay, the same program but by using loop or looping concept. So first instruction is MEIC 04. So as we discussed last time, the first part of the program, here we are going to initialize the memory pointers and counters. So MEIC, so C register we are going to use for counting purpose. Okay, so after execution of this MEIC, in C register you will get 4. Okay, or simply counter with C register with value 4. Why 4? Because we are going to execute rotate instruction, RLC instruction 4 times. Okay, so that's why C register is for counter with value 4. Now take your data 85hex in accumulator, MVI-A 85hex. Okay, so after the execution of this MVI-A in accumulator, you will get 85. Then use RLC instruction, rotate left with carry. Okay, actual process. Then decrement the counter. Okay, decrement the counter by 1. C is equal to C minus 1. Then continuously we will check 0 flag bit, is counter is equal to 0 or no. Okay, so by using JNZ instruction we will check is counter is equal to 0 or no. When we will get the counter 0? After getting C is equal to 0 in the last iteration. At that time the execution will come out of the loop by skipping this JNZ instruction. Okay, and if suppose the counter is not equal to 0, then this rotation instruction or shifting operation should repeat. Okay, so this level up you have to specify in front of actual process of repeat or shifting. Okay, so this up label you have to write in front of RLC. If suppose shifting is over, counter is equal to 0, then execution will come out of the loop. And suppose you want to copy the result in B register, you can use move B comma A. Okay, and last instruction is halt instruction. After execution of this move BA in accumulator and B register, should get 85 hex. Okay, so in this way there are two ways to write the program for the swapping. First, by using straightforward, that is writing RLC instruction 4 times, and by using looping concept. Okay, so we will stop here. In the next video lecture we will execute these programs on simulator and we will cross check the results.